It's one of the most romantic places in northern Italy. A romantic love legend, especially a tragic legend, tragic love. It's absolutely endless and you have to go all the way around. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel and welcome to Gradara, a lovely medieval town, a very romantic one as you can see, and you will discover why in just a few minutes. I have never been here, however, I wanted to explore it for such a long time and finally today I will explore it together with you. But before we begin, if you're new here, please don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell button so you don't miss anything new, including all the new travel vlogs. And if you're ready, let's go with me! Look at this view, how beautiful is it? I am in... Oh, look, there is the sea, guys, you can see the sea, that's amazing. Gradara is located in the Marche region, which is quite near the seashore, and it's so wonderful to see the sea anyway. However, since it's on top of the hill, you have to get here either by car or I don't know if you can actually walk here anyway. As I mentioned a couple of videos ago, if you remember, these narrow roads that are very common in Italy, especially in rural parts like here, there was a wider normal road. But guess what? My Google Maps actually took me through this very tiny, narrow road up here, and it was absolutely impossible for two cars to somehow get there, but we've done it and we're here. I'm so happy about it, and honestly, the view was so worth it. However, always double check the road, guys. Always double check it so you don't end up on this narrow road like myself. And if you want to see the video that I mentioned where I talked about these narrow roads, I will leave you a link up here. Gradara is a fantastic little town and it is actually a borgo medievale, which means that it is a medieval fortress and the whole town is hidden inside this fortress, and it is so worth a visit because it's one of the most romantic places in northern Italy, and I absolutely agree with this name. Moreover, since it's the Valentine's week, it is absolutely spectacular. The whole town is decorated for St. Valentine's Day and everything is so romantic and so lovely here. To celebrate St. Valentine's Day, you can find these signs all over this town, all over the city that say Gradara d'amare, which means Gradara to love. And this could not be more true. The castle of Gradara, guys, is probably the most famous landmark of this town, and people from all over the region and also the neighboring regions come here to visit it. But not only because it's a fantastic castle and you can visit it and you can enjoy the beautiful interiors, but because of the two very peculiar stories that are connected to this place. You know, I cannot resist a romantic love legend, especially a tragic legend, tragic love, but here this is not a mere legend, it is actually much more. The actual story behind this castle is known as the story of Paolo and Francesca, two star-crossed lovers who were even mentioned by Dante himself. Actually, Dante met them in hell. So you can imagine how the story goes. Francesca was a beautiful, noble woman, well, actually a young girl, when she was supposed to marry Gianciotto Malatesta, a local nobleman, signore of this area, of this land, who was not very handsome. Well, not handsome at all. He actually sent his brother first to meet Francesca, and his brother was apparently a very handsome and charismatic young man, so the two understandably fell in love. And when Francesca married Gianciotto, she kept on her affair with Paolo, his brother, well, her brother-in-law basically, until the moment they were discovered by Gianciotto, and he obviously was enraged and he tried to kill Paolo, but Francesca tried to defend her lover and ended up being killed by Gianciotto's sword. Paolo then was caught, obviously, he wasn't left any space to escape, and he was then drawn inside the well of the castle. Obviously, it's a tragic story, but you can even see the room of Francesca, the bedroom that is said to be the bedroom of Francesca with all the furniture, and the dress that Eleonora Duse, a famous Italian actress, used to wear in the performance of Paolo and Francesca, the story of the star-crossed lovers. And if you guys remember my story from Asolo, my video from Asolo, I will leave you a link up here if you haven't seen it. I actually talked a little bit more about Eleonora Duse, who used to live there, so check it out as well. Another story linked to this castle, guys, regards one of my favorite female historical figures in Italy, namely Lucrezia Borgia. I think she was such a powerful woman who was completely underrated at her times, and then the history, well, it didn't work out well for her, because I think that the history painted her as a terrible woman who she was not. She was more of a victim of her father's affairs, because her father was a Pope Alessandro Borgia, one of the most infamous popes in history, who used his daughter in order to secure himself more power, basically, through her numerous marriages and different love affairs. And well, she's a very controversial figure, but also very interesting. And I have another video from Ferrara, one of my very old videos, where I talk about Lucrezia, so I will leave you a link up here if you want to check it out. Lucrezia was 14 years old when she arrived here to Gradara to marry her first husband, for whom she was about to become his second wife, and he was from the Malatesta family, the signori of this area, the ones that I've mentioned before. However, her father managed to dissolve the marriage short time after that, and Lucrezia's brother Cesare Borgia, known as Il Valentino, was the one to take possession of these lands. Lucrezia eventually married on after that, and her story continued. However, it's a totally different story, but she spent a couple of years here in Gradara. And honestly, I think it's very impressive for a town as small as Gradara to have such a prominent historical figure having lived here, and also to have all these wonderful legends. Like, yeah, they're quite, tragic, but still amazing and impressive. And I love this about Italy. I love it so much, honestly, that you can find these legends and so much history on literally every step, wherever you go, even in small towns like this that are incredibly beautiful, but also incredibly rich in history. Guys, you have to visit this place, trust me. After the castle, you can visit the city walls, and it's basically a different ticket for a different price, not too high, so absolutely worth it. However, you have to leave the castle grounds and then find the entrance to the city walls, and it might be a little bit tricky, as you have to take this very narrow street outside the castle grounds. And luckily there were two Italian signoras who were very nice and indicated us where to go, because we were absolutely lost here. But this is the charm of these Italian towns. Guys, don't forget to subscribe to my Patreon page if you want even more stories like this, more itineraries, more hidden spots in Italy, all these wonderful secret places and tips and more about traveling here and moving here as well, because I also have an expat life segment, an expat life kind of post here on my Patreon, so check out the description for the link and subscribe, and I'll be so happy to welcome you there. Guys, this route around the city is endless when you walk around the walls. It's beautiful and the views are absolutely breathtaking. However, keep that in mind if you want to take it. It's absolutely endless and you have to go all the way around because there is no way back once you're here. So for that reason, I would say that's it for today, because this town was absolutely spectacular and I loved every minute of it, and I hope that you enjoyed this vlog as well. And if you're new here, guys, please don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell button down below so you don't miss anything new. And as always, don't forget to like, comment and share this video with your friends. Thank you for being here and please enjoy your day.